Welcome back to Factorio Railworld, where we seem to have just finished off speed modules. So it's been a little bit of time since I played this, so I have to reorient myself. We're just in the process of creating the blue science, that is where we last left off, so we're not yet there. But then let's take a tiny break here for a second with the production. We're just producing the first red circuits. So we need to create engine units and sulfur, and then these. Okay, this will be my line for the blue science. It seems to me that that's what my plan was. So assuming that, then we want to have this here, and we will probably need a third line here, right? So, all right. Excuse my initial little bit, confusion about what's the priorities. As I said, it's been a moment since I played this. Since I pre-recorded a little bit more than 2 weeks of content. When I first played it, I got really addicted to it and have played it since then. So we have the engine units. We need the sulfur. We need the engine units. We have the advanced circuits. We need the engine units. So we're getting the plastic here. So the next thing is the sulfur. So let us then consider a station for the sulfur. So how much space does that need? Like 2, 3, 4, 5 like lines of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Roughly speaking, is roughly like how much space we need. So just to be safe, why build it so tight, right? Like the space is obviously there. Why should we build it like super tight and narrow ourselves in? Okay, almost. Yeah. Alright, getting worse and worse. No, so like to here and then to there. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good, not gonna lie. And then let's slam a few of those signals on there. And of course we need a stop, which we'll place here. So did we give them a fancy name? Science Lab Plastic Delivery. All right. Science Lab Sulfur Delivery. I'm wondering like whether we should find like some good naming scheme. So I'm thinking like right off the top of my head, maybe we can name it like after some cities that are famous for this thing. Like I'm not sure like what is a science laboratory. I cannot think of like a good science laboratory. Maybe there is something from some movie or cartoon, but usually they don't have names, do they? Do the science laboratories usually? Did they remove the engine production? Because I wanted to build a train. I guess I removed it, maybe. All right. Fine. Then let's just assume that we'll figure it out. So what I was thinking on the top of my head, like the only thing I could think of was like Bletchley Park, you know, where they made the Enigma stuff. That's not really a science laboratory. It's more like a research thing for like computer science. Huh. All right. We'll have to think about that. So the sulfur will be on the outer edge here, I believe. And then this here will be the engines. Maybe. If we can somehow get through here. There's no reason not to be a little bit more tight. Well, let's maybe try to get them to use up the first batch there. Well, actually we can just remove that. Alright, we don't have enough inventory space. Too much nonsense that's up in our inventory. Definitely too much nonsense. Steel furnaces, electric mining bros, we kind of need still. Alright, we have like cargo. Oh my god, we built fluid wagons. I forgot about them. Originally wanted to transport the oil, I think. I completely forgot about those fluid wagons. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, I suppose we will do some changes like that, and I will just dump a few things also. Like, we didn't have like a garbage bin somewhere. I remember that we put like a garbage bin. There we go. All right, let's throw down a bit of garbage. That's garbage. The fluid wagons, for now, they're garbage. Probably will use them later. You see anything else that's garbage that looks like garbage to you? More or less it's fine, right? A lot of plastic we have here. Okay. Like so. And this I actually wanted to move over here. So that we could go through here. So we said the outer one would be the sulfur. Right. So let's try to route that one conveniently all the way up here. And yeah, across here. Very nice. So that will be the sulfur. And then this here will of course be, oh, I like this so much that they can go through. This will be the output line of the engine units. So probably this will be in the way quite a lot actually. So for engine units, what do we actually need? Engines. Steel, no problem. Gears, we have a line of gears we could just route here, and then of course pipes. Pipes just require iron plates. All right. Okay, decent, not too bad. This is spaghetti. That's crazy. So eventually, of course, the plan is to do things a lot more cool, but this is like all just like, you know, preliminary, I would say, but for like a long time preliminary, unfortunately. Already forgot what else we wanted. Pipes and steel, I think. Pipes and steel. Right, steel, no problem, that's over here, just have to get it somehow. Huge pain in the butt to get that steel, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe we can get it through here, yeah, kinda. Like here. Yeah, kinda like that. This will be the steel line, and then we'll have here the pipes. That's pretty okay. And here we will have to go like that. Then we can get some of that steel in here. Nice. So about those gears. So it feels to me that we can rebalance them also. At least seems to me that we ought to do that, considering how things look here. That should rebalance it, right? No. This should rebalance it. Okay, just so that we are getting a little bit more of a backlog when the production is stopping, because there's no reason to not do that. Then here we want to get the production of the, wow, we're really screwing ourselves over a little bit. So an output line that goes like here, wraps around, and then those here like will be the production already. Cool. All right, then we'll have to make steel plates into there. Okay. Big pain. Yeah, I will remove that. This one I cannot empty out, but we will remove those just because we think that it's probably not needed to collect here anymore. And these ones, okay, already little bit of an issue. Yeah, these ones we'll have to collect them. So let's just craft a bit more rails and free up a little bit of inventory space. Yeah, that is nice. Then you can go over here like that. And for now, let's do it like here. It's not the nicest way, but that's okay. These are just pretty full boxes. We'll eventually use them up. And we will put some production like that, where we produce pipes. Indeed, and then here we will build our production of engine units. I'll start with the normal inserters and see how far we get with that. Wow, okay, this should be one further down. Do I want to move it down? I guess. Just for the aesthetics. Something like that. And then the top row gets removed. And here, like, come on. Like this, and then this one like that. Okay, let's just clear up the last point because there's a little bit of stuff on the belt that's not supposed to be here. And then we can think about here the engine units and inserter like so. Engines. Okay, then let's figure this part out quickly. How do I remove from the list down here? Well, alright, let's figure it out later. So anyway, we're putting stuff here. This one is incorrectly wired. This one now has everything, and I think the fast inserters would be completely overkill because they're just not as high production anyway right now. And we'll have in a second here our first engine put here, which will be good because then that will supply almost everything here. Of course, the sulfur is still the bottleneck, so we'll have to figure something out there. Okay, good. Of course, we basically would really prefer if we can build a train, so we will steal a little bit of those engine units as they come in. So let's just make that engine unit production go really brr, because it's definitely needed. The production here is so slow. Come on. Come on. Oh, why was it not deconstructing? I don't know. And then we still have enough of those. And we do some inserter stuff like so. A little bit of belts. And then of course some power. I guess place it here. And then let's figure out like quickly how do we copy the orders. I don't remember, like we do control, right click, and then left click, or up. Oh, that was definitely the wrong one. Alright, I need to read up on this, I guess. Because I'm not so smart on that. So let's figure that out quickly. Tips and tricks. How was it? Stack transfers, inserters, transport belts, trains, fast replay, circuits. Copy and pasting settings. Here we go. So shift right click and shift left click. Alright, so shift right click. Well, there's no order here, right? There is. I'm just not in alt mode. Shift right click, left click, left click, left click. Come on, I need to walk over there. Oh, nice. I like it. Okay, engines are producing. Very good. And we will steal the engines from here. We want to produce trains. So we want to require more engines. And I think they are probably getting bottlenecked by the production of the pipes soon enough. So since we anyway also need pipes for other purposes, I think there's just advantages to also producing a few more than needed pipes. Okay, running out of belts, that's embarrassing. Okay, shift right, left, and then a bit of power. Very nice. The green production we could also split onto 2 lanes. Seems like we're backed up quite heavily, but that shouldn't, I think, stop us from maybe just producing a little bit more, just in case, to double fill the belts. Why not? Okay. Okay, definitely the production of the pipes is more than enough, and the engines are also slowly building up. So we can grab the engines from here. You know, at 40, that's perfect. So we have already the cargo wagons, we just needed the engines. So then let's place a train down and cargo wagons, 1, 2, 3. And then of course another train, and then build a system here, which we could have done already. We neglected that. Okay, like that. Then of course also on the end here, you will have to supply some coal in a bit, but let's first deal with the unloading of the train. So we concentrate, we need to really get some belts. We'll concentrate stuff on the middle, so let's craft a few splitters, because probably we'll need more. Then grab the belts. Okay. like so. And so. And let's take a quick look at the system here. So we're just uniting them down here with that type of system, which I'm sure is not the best way, but I think it's an okay way, probably, I would guess. Okay, there's also a more effective way than doing this like the way I'm doing it, where you manually rotate. How does it work? Do we want to quickly take a look at that? Belt lanes. Underground belts. Build by dragging. Fast belt bending. Pressing R allows you to bend quickly. Oh, okay, perfect. I will try that out in a second. So let's do that here. Okay, nice. Then here we want to, well, of course that was completely bad. Oh, but that's nice. That it actually splits around. I like it. Good. So then that's here. You, my friend, will go up here. That should already fill up, except for, of course, the necessity to provide electricity. Like so. Okay, train gets filled up. So the train is almost ready to unload. We have to get that to the second engine. Yes. Very nice. Oh my god, I forgot the buffers. Ah, seriously? Seriously? Ah, screw my life, right? That's where you need the freaking robots, my friend. So, yeah. But like the idea behind it is pretty good. So that we have this type of buffer system makes total sense. It should just be that we also use it and don't destroy stuff unnecessarily. But we do not need to destroy all this, so this is fair. And to be fair, it doesn't take too long to build and rebuild stuff. It's just a little bit, of course, annoying. I guess for the coal, maybe the buffer is not as urgent. But of course for the unloading, I think it makes sense, because the belt will be full, but we don't know how long it takes for the train to basically arrive again. We want to be in a state where we have like some buffers. This is loading, but these are unloading. So we have to be careful which direction we point them. Because I think these ones also need to be that way around, because they should be taking from the train. Yeah, and then the middle ones here will be going out like that, and these ones should be going into the middle. Like so. And then our splitters come back into action. Okay, we forgot here a little bit something. Okay, let's test this out again. Okay, then here Nope, wrong way around. Because I guess the dragging, it assumes that you're going in the direction of how the actual ore flows. So you'd have to go from here to there, I guess, to properly draw the line. Not sure. And then that one there, this one there, and here. That is fine. And then finally linking this up, and we are done. So then let's take that train. And do we have already a few stations? So the oil town sulfur, yes. And then you go to the science lab. Huh. You don't have a station here, right? Somehow. Oh, okay, sorry. Let's just go out. Tick, tick, tick. Station. Here. I could have sworn I placed the station, but I guess not. Science lab sulfur delivery. Maybe I think I placed it and I probably removed it when I was doing some stuff, right? You probably saw it. Science lab sulfur, indeed. Wait for full, and here wait for empty, and then let's go. Okay. Okay, we're blocked here. Let's take a look at the map, why that is. Because the oil town sulfur line we want to go. Some other train probably has priority here. Huh. Which train has priority on this? I don't think so. I don't think so. There's a bug. I don't trust it. Okay. Okay, that sounds better. Okay. I'm a little bit seeing that we don't have a lot of sulfur being put, or plastic for that matter. That is interesting. Why is that, do you think? Because of coal. The coal train has not come to deliver any coal. And this train here is blocked right now. Because, so here's a red signal. Here's a green signal. But there's a red signal here onto that middle track. So that middle track is somehow blocked. Let's pursue this little investigation. Feels to me that there's probably an issue where we just forgot to place signals for probably the coal train, maybe, because it's still filling up probably. I think it's probably blocking our whole network, which is an interesting development. So the coal train is not that one. Although that one could also be the one that's blocking, isn't it? Yeah, that is the coal train. Yeah. No, that's the iron ore train. But yeah, the iron ore train here is blocking, truth be told, so that is true. That this train part here, I mean, overall this whole system makes no sense because realistically it's just not really built to have... the signaling makes no sense for so many trains. There definitely will be deadlocks, is what I'm saying. But we'll come to that when it comes to that. So for now, let's get a little bit up here to the coal train. And that is probably just not filling up because the coal production here is extremely low, and we know that. While the use of the coal is probably pretty high. But hey, it is almost filled up. So it's not too bad. It's just that this one has like a super low priority, and they're also filling up these these boxes basically, and didn't limit those boxes to anything sensible, which would have made a lot of sense. Yeah, these things basically had good capacity for this small little field, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's just that this train is like not really suitable for that amount of coal that we require back there. But hey, for now it's okay actually. It's just that the delivery intervals, because we are full loading, are pretty low. But let's say it's fine for now. So let's sneak up there. Deliver a little bit of coal so that the production begins again. And we can see that the system generally works pretty well. The train is getting unloaded as fast as possible into the buffer, and the buffer is slowly being emptied onto the belt. The belt is basically fully loaded, and that should get to these factories pretty quickly. We also see that our tanks are pretty filled up, so that's also nice. The production is in line with what we need. But for sulfur, actually, we don't really need coal. We have a shortage of water? Are you serious? Is that the water excess here? Did I mistakenly... Yes, I mistakenly disrupted that. That is embarrassing. So sulfur should have been produced, we just were stupid about that. And it's more or less working at full capacity now. Right. Those are chemical plants. Do we have more chemical plants? Then we would place a second one maybe. Chemical plants, we don't have them. So let's build 2. Okay, so here the idea, I suppose, is that we will put them like below each other, like that. And I want to find quickly a way that we can make this something like that. And yeah, that should work. That we can kind of like, yeah. Did that connect? I just disconnected it, I think. Yes. And that way. And then these ones are like that. And that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Then we will have the... For some reason we put a fast one here. I'm not sure if it's needed. It seems almost like the normal ones would be sufficient, but we'll go for consistency here. And throw that. And then... Oh, that was incorrect. Sorry. Not that. Yes, like that. And we're producing sulfur in more acceptable amounts, and the sulfur should get loaded onto our train, and indeed it does. So just before we end the episode here, I just want to take the final ride, just so that we can actually see the blue science flowing, and we will also queue up our first blue science actually, which will be... What is the most important blue science for us? Energy distribution is really nice. Lasers are very nice. Oh yeah, advanced material processing. Dude, we need that. We need that so bad. Like electronic furnaces for the win. Okay, we'll just bring like a little bit of sulfur. Not much. Not even enough to do anything useful with, but you know how it is. The first little bit is just already a good win. And here we go. So sulfur gets unloaded here. Nice. we can already place a new factory here, which we forgot about. Wow, we have so many engine units. Beautiful. Sulfur is coming in. Yes, slowly but steadily. The train should already be leaving, right? Almost? Yeah, it already left. We didn't have like that much sulfur. That was basically all of it. But it's just enough to produce us a little bit of the blue signs. Oh, low power. So we have a topic for the next episode already. That everything is running a little bit slow. But that also depends on our production, of course. Like if maybe some production shuts down. Alright, the first 2 blue science packs are coming in. And they will go to the last line. And indeed, we are doing blue science research. So with that, I will call the episode here. Thank you for joining me, and see you next time.